Welcome to Tommy Solo's Famous Friends. This is where I get to chat with people I've connected with over the years in the world of arts and entertainment. And today I'm very happy to have with me the very, very funny, absolutely hilarious Jeremy Hotz. Welcome to the show, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't play anything. So, but when I'm on stage and I'm in a big theater show, sometimes what they do is they'll put a giant grand piano on the stage because it's just me. So they try to cover up the stage with some stuff to make it seem more impressive. But people just look at me and the piano and think, when's the guy going to play it? And the answer is never. It's the world's heaviest prop. I just lean on it. That's all I do. And sometimes they have a blind guy there all day tuning it.
That's awesome. You don't have the heart to tell them. I'm
No,
just going to lean on it.
why would I take work away from the blind?
Yeah, no kidding. Oh man. So you just finished a tour across Canada, but this isn't your first, your first event. You've been doing this for a long, long time, and I tell you, I've been kind of looking at some of your YouTube videos and the things you talk about. I wish I could say some of the things that you say. You know.
They come in and then they say them, and then people go, "Can he say that?" Yeah, he can.
So you talk about short people versus tall people in one
I
of the
don't
videos
like
that I
tall
watched.
people. I really don't. I think that it's unfair. We should all be exactly the same size. Why does that guy get an advantage? Why is he allowed to get stuff off the top shelf? That stinks.
Not to mention just grabbing the apples with his mouth as he walks through the orchard. Yeah.
That's right. There's that one. That's the joke from my act. If I was tall, I wouldn't have a job. I'd just pick fruit, live off the land. That's right. That's right. That's right. Tall people survived longer in the olden days. They ate better.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, so many unfair things in life. You
And I
know,
find every single one, and it's purposely there to bother me. You realize that, right? Like I talk about the world issues, like how horrible the world is, but I just skim over that because I'm stuck on the little stuff, you know?
everything's a conspiracy against me. I know.
Well, I'm a comic, right? And
Yeah.
I'm that. I'm everything is miserable, nothing is good. And then the world actually went like that. So I'm in fashion now.
Yeah, these are certainly weird and strange times. Oh man. So, I watched a video where you talked about going to the gym and and
Yeah. Yes.
and your disdain for personal trainers.
I don't like them. I don't like personal trainers, and I don't like the old guy at the gym more than anyone. The old guy, the guy in his 70s that's at the gym and he's still working out like he's 15 and he's got the big muscles. Yeah, you look great, pal, but they don't have a machine there for your face. Who's the
Yeah.
old guy with the big muscles? I'm afraid of that guy.
Yeah, because he's not afraid to hit you.
Well, he might take a swing at you. It'll take a minute before he gets you, but he looks good.
Ah, oh man. Yeah. Where are you now? Are you in Montreal?
Right now, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm back home again. We flew home on Air Canada. So, yeah, the whole tour. What a wonderful airline, huh? Let me tell you what no competition does. I took about 5 flights on this trip, on this leg of the tour. They weren't on time once. They weren't. The closest was 2 hours late. Not bad, not bad. But, I find I do much better flying on Air Canada since I've lost the will to live.
Or to be on time? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new airplanes. The seats are
Hey,
so
they're really
much
small, the
smaller.
seats. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They shrunk the seats, but the guy sitting next to you is fatter every time now. So that's ridiculous. Like, what are you doing? Are you trying to pretend the world is thinner? Is it like the television commercials? It doesn't look like that.
Yeah, and they're charging more for it. It's like
Who are
you
they? Who
pay.
are they kidding? Keep
Yeah.
forcing your agenda on everybody. Look, people are way thinner now. No, they are not. It's the other way.
It's just crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, and you can sit on those little little seats all scrunched up for like 8 hours, and you know, and then some of the flights they offer drinks on board. Not very
Yeah.
many anymore. I
Well,
flew.
Air Canada, alcohol is usually free because the plane is late every single time. So they give you free alcohol when that happens. So there's not a revolt on the plane because they're Canadian. And if you're going to hold them up, you better get them drunk.
That's right, and it's Canadian beer. Yeah.
So it
Uh,
works.
that's right. It does. Oh man. Oh man. I don't know how familiar you are with Canadian politics and in particular Ontario. Are you familiar with the Premier of Ontario, Mr.
The
Ford?
Ford brother of the guy yeah, the old crackhead. He's the
Yeah,
brother of the crackhead,
the
right?
brother of the crackhead.
Is he the older brother?
No, he's actually younger, but
Okay. I
yeah, but
wondered how he was still alive. It's because
yeah,
he was
well,
younger. Okay.
yeah. So the thing about Doug Ford, he's got some crazy ideas,
Hey,
and I wonder
nice
if you could,
looking guy, huh?
yeah, I
Woo!
wonder if you
There's
can
someone
comment on
for
a couple of these.
Playgirl.
He's got a couple of crazy ideas now. He wants to build an airport in downtown Toronto.
Oh, I thought they had one on the island there, don't they?
Yeah, but it's like he wants to expand on it. It reminds me, do you remember Wayne and Schuster from Canadian TV
Oh
back in the
yeah,
day?
yes.
So
I met Frank Schuster once when I was a kid. Yes, yes.
so one of their bits was, and meanwhile, downtown at the airport, they're wondering, why is the airport downtown? And I just thought, didn't Doug Ford see that?
That's really funny. So, are they really going to put it? Because the traffic there is ridiculous. The last thing you want is planes landing on top of the cars, you
That's
moron.
that's exactly what I thought. It's like, have you driven in Toronto in the last number of years?
Well, now you can't get around the planes, it sounds like.
Exactly. I mean, I had to go and cover an event at Roy Thompson Hall a couple of years ago, and it took me hours just to get back to my car, and then to try and get out of the city at like mid-afternoon. Forget it. And they want to expand the airport.
Oh, dude, the last time I was in Toronto, I was trying to get to the gig and I got stuck behind some African guy driving a three-wheeled fruit truck. I barely made it there. What the hell's going on? That used to be Toronto.
Uh, yeah, it's just
Cars
crazy, man.
there should be a law. Cars should, if it's a car, it has to have four wheels. Come on. Not the half motorcycle, half car combo. Where did that come from?
I don't
Jeez.
know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay,
Oh
I'm all
man.
right today. I'm not a musician, they can tell, I guess, right?
That's I have spoken to a few comedians over the years, and I'd like to speak to more of you guys because, musicians try to be funny, but it doesn't always work.
And we try to be musicians, and that never works. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's why they put a piano on stage, and I never play it. They think some moment, in some magical moment, I'll suddenly be taken with song. No.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Do you have a pet?
I got Shaq, and that's why Air Canada is so difficult to fly on because I travel with my service animal. He's a 7.5 pound Chihuahua, and he looks after me. And he doesn't fit under the seat that well in Air Canada anymore since they shrunk him down and made him for like not human beings. Yes, yeah. Since the waif seats don't work for my dog. There it is. There it is. But he goes everywhere with me, and I do so much better on the road now because I have him, and he just keeps me happy and everything. And he runs out at the end, and they all know him, and he's quite popular, and it's gone to his head completely.
I was on the road as a professional musician for a lot of years, and it was a struggle just trying to stay sane and to try and avoid some of the pitfalls that take so many over the years. How have you dealt with some of the pressures on the road?
It's the loneliness, eh? And as you know, right? Like you see all the people, and there's a big autograph line after the show, and everybody comes up and they take pictures with you, and then you go out and there's everybody around you, and you go out for dinner and stuff, and then you go back to the hotel and you're completely alone. It's like the door is shut in your face, and then you got to sort all your stuff out, and you can think about what you did in your performance, what you should do better than next time, what you got right, what you got wrong. You know the way that it is. So, you don't want to be alone for that process. And I have the dog running around the room. And I'll tell you, he's like a little kid. like when we first get to the room, he's like really excited and he jumps up on the bed and he starts running around the bed like a child would, and he just brings me so much joy that he takes away that anxiety because I have the horrible. I'm a live performer with generalized anxiety disorder, which is impossible. How do you get out there is the question. And the answer is adrenaline. It completely removes the anxiety when I'm out there. So I'm actually better on stage than off.
Well, as a singer, I do warm-ups and I try and watch my diet and so on. Do you have any routines or rituals to get ready before a show?
I try not to think about it. I don't think about it at all. I don't think about what's coming up in the future. And I just walk out there and I do it. That's how I keep it in the back of my head. It's like, just, I got to go do this now. And I don't make a big deal out of it at all. You know,
Yeah, I think maybe more musicians should try that because
it
that
works
sounds
for
like
me, avoidance. But even though they go, whatever you do, you have to do all the work to do that. No, you don't. Just don't think about it, you moron. There it is. It's that simple, you know? Psychiatrists don't know, psychologists don't know. Like when I was a kid, I was 8 years old, and they thought I was nuts. So the school, not even my parents, the school sent me to a psychiatrist when I was a child, and he said that kid is eating too much ketchup. That's what he said. Take the ketchup out. That's how stupid that guy was. So after my mom stopped laughing, she said, "You're not going to the psychiatrist anymore." All right, that's how that worked because she figured it out early. Too much
so
ketchup.
you're like Sheldon. You're not crazy. Your mom had you tested.
I think he thought there was something in the dye that was
Oh,
screwed. I don't know what he thought. Maybe he should die. There you
oh
go.
man. And we do have to watch our diet and what our kids are eating. My grandson, when he was about 7 or 8 years old, he got sent home sick one day, and turns out he was all blocked up because he was eating sliced cheese sandwiches every day, and it's not even real food. The
No, it isn't real cheese, man. No, it's some
no,
other. I know it is. It's some other stuff. You're right. Yeah, he couldn't take a dump, right? Because there's something in it, right? So they plugged the kid up, and he's a
yeah,
kid. Imagine what a
yeah.
kid thinks. What, this is over now? I can't do this anymore. That's it. This is how people get fat. That's what he probably thought.
And yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, he's all plugged up. But we live in a world where the best food is expensive and the worst food is cheap. It's cheaper to go to McDonald's than it is
That
to have a healthy
yes.
meal.
Yes, man. And that's true. That is, they do everything about cleaning up the smoking, but they let you go eat stuff that's probably killing you way faster. So the double standard world is just, it's garbage. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
sell, sell, sell first and worry about the world later, right, man?
absolutely. What kind of fillers? Can we put sawdust in these hot dogs and still sell them and have the
Hey,
kids lap them up?
jumbo shrimp. That's the smallest thing, right? And they try to make it seem like it's the biggest, smallest thing you've ever had. It's stupidest term in the world, man. Jumbo shrimp.
Oxymoron.
That
Yeah.
should be my nickname.
Because you're just a little bit bigger than the little guys. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Jumbo shrimp.
Take that
We should
one.
go on tour, man. Uh,
This is how it happens. So it's not really an act for me,
yeah.
right? So I just walk outside and then stuff happens. I'll take the dog for a walk. Stuff happens. That night, it's in the act. I hear it for the first time too. That's the way I do it. I mean, when you've done it for 40 plus years, well, certainly for me, uh, I have to entertain myself. So yeah, I make stuff up on stage. And the question I always get is it really? And the answer is yes, it is. I've done it for so long that I say those things. And then the things that I really like when I watch the thing afterwards, or people remind me, I say them again. That's how that works, you know? And as the better your mind is the more stuff you remember, so the more stuff you have, you know?
Are you wearing contacts right now?
No, I took them out because I've been traveling and I went on Air Canada and they immediately dry up in my eyes because I don't trust Air Canada so much when I fly that I barely blink. So what happens is the contact lenses dry up in my face and then they pop out of my eyes is what happens.
You were on one of the videos I watched on YouTube. You were talking about the what is it? Some sort of a gas material.
Gas
Um,
permeable lenses. That's a real
gas.
famous one from my thing about, yes, that's right. The zoo. And then yes, I remember all that. That's right. I do very specifically weird jokes about things that other people don't really ever talk about. And then it's a bizarre, my stories are bizarre.
So, tell me about the gas permeable
I
contacts
went to the zoo in the winter, and I saw the it was freezing cold, and we went to the zoo, and I saw the elephant fart, and the other animals were running behind it to keep warm. And I was wearing gas permeable lenses, so the stench from the elephant's ass got into my head. That's what happened.
it's all blurry from there.
It was all kind of blurry from there. That back in the olden days, that's one of the first bits that I did that was so, but I still write stuff like that. I still write like weird. This is from my act that I'm doing now, and this really happened. Okay, so in the backyard, uh, I have the tree growing, and the tree's roots grew into my sewer pipe, and they broke the sewer pipe, and they grew into the sewer pipe, and then a lemon tree branch started growing out of my toilet. And I had company over last week, and one of my friends said, "Hey, Jeremy, this lemonade tastes like shit." See how weird my bits are?
Oh, it reminded
Who
me.
writes that? I do. I write that bit.
My
Ah.
my old house had a willow tree right outside the sunroom. And the next time a realtor says to me it's a well-treed lot, I'm going to punch them right in the mouth because what a
Okay.
pain in the neck.
What did you call it, man?
A willow tree, and they called it a well-treed lot.
What's a well tree? Is that because it goes
Wi-
into the sewer
no,
pipe?
willow tree, but yeah, it ended up because weeping willow trees look for water wherever they can find it. So yeah, it went right into my pipes, into the sewer pipes, and
And
I
you had to pay to have the sewer pipe repaired under else,
I had to
right?
do that
You
because I had a
see?
well-treed lot,
Yeah.
and I had to do that. And then to boot, the branches were threatening my neighbor's house and my garage. So every year I'd go up and I'd
I
prune
trim
those.
them. Yeah.
I'd trim them.
Yeah.
It turns out
Yeah.
I was effectively pruning them, so it made my work twice as hard for the next year.
Because they grow quicker when you cut them. Is that the game there?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stinks.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
stinks. See,
But it
people,
was.
you know what? You don't understand. In the autograph line, since because I just started doing that bit on this tour, they always talk about like they came up and so many people went, the tree in the backyard for me, the roots did the same thing. Like you're like the 20th guy that said this to me now. So this is like a common thing. People just never talk about it. Well, what they don't understand is to get when that happens, it's really expensive because they gotta replace the sewer pipe because it's broken and it's underground and it costs a lot of money to fix it, you know?
Yep. But it's a selling point when you're buying a new house.
But mine, I don't know about you, but my pipe under there turned out to be one of the first ones that was plastic. And here's why plastic is shit. It cracks under the ground and then the root gets right in there. That's what happens. That's what he told me, you know?
Nuts.
Yep.
Nuts.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. So this whole comedy thing. I mean, have you always been able to make a living doing this, or did you have to
Yeah,
do
that's
other
why I
things?
never, yeah. I don't know about you and music, but I never, when I was young, like remember when you're a kid and like you're getting your first jobs and stuff? Back in Ottawa, that's where I lived, right in Canada. And my friends all got jobs like working at like fast food places and stuff. They never hired me. I guess people just didn't like the look on my face or something. So I never got a job. So I figured I better find something to do, you know? So I tried comedy. The first time I went on at Yuk Yuks, I went and did amateur night. I took a bus up from Toronto and I went on and they put me on last. I was like 20th. There were like 20 people and I was dead last. It was really early. And then I killed. And then Breslin, the owner of the club, just happened to be standing there and he said, did you want to do this professionally? And it was the first time anybody offered me a job. So I said, yeah, that's what happened, you know? And then the rest is history. I never really had a job after that, ever.
Well,
So I
that's
can't
that.
do anything except this. So, you know, in the apocalypse, you'll see me just standing there.
Laughing at everybody who's melting in the lava. Yeah. That's hilarious. I played Yuk Yuks once in London. And
Ontario, London?
London, Ontario, Yuk Yuks.
Yes, I remember it. I did it a few times back many years. Is there still one there?
I believe it's still there, although the casino is
Wow.
under new ownership. But
Still,
I
that's
played there.
amazing because I played Yuck Yucks like, 30 years ago when I
Yeah.
started. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise to me because I was invited to perform at Yuk Yuk's, and it was a competition to open for a Canadian band called Sloan at the Western Fair, and we won the spot. But I kept thinking, I don't have any jokes. What am I doing on this stage? Like I just play some funny guitar. What do I do?
So you went and where did you open for Sloan?
At the Western Fair
Where's
here,
that?
at the
In
Western
London,
Fair.
Ontario? So it was a
It's in
big outdoor
London.
venue, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, cool. So was that the biggest thing you'd ever done at that point in time, like crowd wise?
I don't know if it's the biggest thing, but yeah, it was fun. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Actually,
I
the
opened up for uh uh the guy from not Burton Cummings, the other one
Randy
from
Bachman,
yeah, Randy Bachman from Bachman Turner Overdrive. And he was
right?
playing in the back of it was in Saskatchewan behind this hotel in this giant field. And I opened for him, and it started to rain as soon as I went on, and I watched the entire crowd running away from me.
I had an experience. Speaking of big crowds, we were playing at the London International Rib Fest at Victoria Park on the big band shell, and we were the headliners. And this is one time I wish I wasn't the headliner because it started to rain, and we're all backstage, and I could hear the guy who was opening for us start to crack up, and I thought, what's wrong with his stuff? And the promoter comes up to us and says, okay, so the front of house just blew because they had no tarp over the freaking
So
sound
it
system
hit
out
the
there.
stuff and it blew it went, oh my God.
So he says, I've got this four-channel DJ mixer I can plug you into. And we're a five-piece band. And I looked at the guys and the gals and I said, I guess if we want to get paid, we got to do this. But like you, we're playing and it starts raining heavier. We're moving all the gear back further onto the stage. And I'm
Oh,
watching
that's
people
hilarious.
run
Under the
away.
thing. Right. Were you scared you were going to get electrocuted? Is there a chance of that happening or no?
Uh, there might have been a chance. I don't think that I was really that on the ball to think about it, or I might have said, "Okay, can we get paid anyway, and we'll just go home?" But no,
Well, yeah, when you're a kid, you're just thinking about you guys going to pay me, right? Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you've
Oh
worked
man,
with promoters before.
yeah, exactly,
They're
exactly.
not trustworthy people at all.
And
My God.
I talked to Phil Maud from UFO a while ago, and at the end of our conversation, I said, "Do you have any advice for young up and coming artists?" And one of the things he said was, "Beware managers bearing false gifts."
That yeah. Yeah, they'll take half your stuff if you're not paying any attention and stuff like that. There's that. There's corrupt people in our industry because it's an easy way to make money if nobody's paying attention.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so many musical artists sign a record deal and
Oh,
it's based on here's a loan for X amount of dollars,
I know
and if
how
you
it works.
sell
Yeah.
enough records, then you'll make money. If we decide we're not going to promote you because we like Bon Jovi better, then you're not going to sell the records and you owe us all this money.
Dude, I've dated singers my whole career because I'm a comic. I know how it works. It's unfortunate. They're very beautiful on stage and stuff, but off stage, they can
Oh man.
really tell you how lousy the industry is. Woo!
Have you
You know?
had any near disasters on stage that you can talk about?
Any near disasters? Yeah, the guy I've had two or three people have like full on like heart attacks. So that brings the show to a screeching halt. Kind of.
Not a laughing matter. Oh,
especially when they're sitting up front, which was only two out of the three times.
oh
Yeah, it
man.
happens, you know, because if you think about it with all the movement and stuff, and then yeah, I get it. I understand why that has happened a few times, you know. But so far, no fatalities. Every single time the person pulled through and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But
So
you know,
you never actually knocked him dead. I'm
no, I
sorry.
don't
I'm
naturally knock
sorry.
them dead, but I seriously, I debilitate them.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess what it is if you're not used to laughing that much in a row, like that can be hard, you know,
I
and you
guess
can't
so.
stop once you start they become it's infectious, you know what I mean, and you cannot. So, yeah, so there it is.
I remember years and years ago, somebody, I was like in a life skills program or something, and they said, nobody's ever died from laughing. Well,
Yeah, that's not true, actually, you know. And if you think of musicians, you know, you just people die at musicians' concerts, so you just don't hear about it. Everybody gets up to leave. There's one guy still sitting there. He ain't leaving.
oh
That's how
man.
that works. You just don't see it or hear it because it's at the
S-
end and everyone's gone. You know, they just put up
Speaking
a
of,
sign that says "Go around."
we'll rope this area off around Bruce. Yeah. So, speaking of knocking him dead, what's coming up for you, Jeremy?
I got to go to do the Halifax Comedy Festival again. That's taped for TV. And that's the second time I'm doing it in a row. So that's really nice that they asked me again, and I'm really looking forward to that. Because Canada, I'm from Canada originally, and well, I was born in Africa, but I came to Canada when I was one, so it's sort of my adopted country. So that is my favorite kind of audience right now because they get me better than anyone else. They made me a star first there.
Very cool. Very cool. Anything happening in your home area now, like around LA?
Yeah, I'm not getting shot at, which is good since I've started wearing my protective gear.
Oh man, hiding from ice around every corner, I guess.
Yeah, this is a special t-shirt. It's bulletproof.
Oh, nice, nice.
Special cotton, you know?
New York tough, yeah. Oh
Puffly
man.
wound cotton.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Jeremy, I don't want to take up your whole day. I know you've got people to see and places to go and more jokes to write and so
Yeah,
on.
I got more of these to do because these podcasts just keep popping up all over the place and they call me. That's the problem, you see? Because you guys just sit at home during the pandemic and then you keep the thing going after the pandemic. So now there's a million more things to do. You get it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm having a hard time finding time for my music with all these people I have to talk to.
That's the
All that
thing.
all that said, Jeremy, I want to thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to do this with me. And until next time, cheers. Tommy Solo's Famous Friends is a one-man production, meaning that I've done all the work, including recording, editing, guest acquisition, etc. The theme song for Tommy Solo's Famous Friends is a clip from my original composition, The Burn, all rights reserved. If you enjoy the show and you'd like to help us keep it going, why don't you click on the Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. We really appreciate it. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, cheers.